Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a video. This video is a bit. This video has been taking me a while to do. It is a bit hard for me to do. I'm opening up about my story from last year. Well, like my mental health, depression, and etc. like that. But yeah, and like why I wasn't really uploading on YouTube throughout 2024. Like I uploaded a few things on YouTube during 2024, yeah, but I wasn't consistent on like how I am now with YouTube. Like I would say last year I was very slack. Like if you try and look down at a few of my live streams from last year, like you can see I looked like I wasn't like proper into it, but like I'm proper into it now, like but yeah, like 2024 is just such a shit year. I was planning to come out big in 2024. Yeah, like I was planning on. I had a lot of plans for like content creation and stuff to do throughout 2024. But I've started 2025 off with YouTube and like trying to do stuff to make trying to try have a bit of a better year from like last year. But yeah, before we get into it, just remember to like and subscribe. This will probably be hard for me to do, but yeah, I don't know how long this video will be, but yeah. So basically, we get into January of 2024, like, it starts off like okayish, but then halfway throughout January, we find out some sad news that I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but basically there was a death of a close friend. But yeah, there was a death of a close friend, and then that kind of dragged me down. I was really close to that person, and like, well, all of us in my family were quite close to the person. It was just a bit of a shock to us all, really, but like, yeah, well, it was a big shock to me at the end of the day, and like my other family members. But yeah, that kind of really dragged me down, and then I would say the next thing was I was like struggling to keep like friendships and like I don't have many. Like, I would say I don't have many friends. Like I'm gonna admit that right now. I don't have many friends. Like I'm not that person to like look. I remember a few old mates from primary school, but like I would call them friends, but like I wouldn't like make contact with them nowadays. It's not because I don't want to. It's just because I've got that awkwardness from like um oh, this is so hard, man. I've just got I just find it awkward like meeting up with like old friends and yeah, it's like I struggle to keep friendships and like yeah and like yeah, but yeah, and then a few other things went on. Well, I then kind of started like I'll admit I did start actually like daily on getting hooked on medications like I wouldn't call it dangerous, like it wasn't like cannabis or like cocaine or anything. It was like pills from the cupboard, like paracetamol pills. I was popping and like Calpol bottles and like pain relief. I was just popping it every day. I was I was popping pain relief every day. I was severely depressed last year, and I had anxieties, and like especially that death last year like really drove me down into a big state. Like it made me severe. And then like I had a few troubles last year with some people, and like and like yeah, I, I'm just trying to get my words out. But well, I started doing doing medication. I felt lonely. Like I was, I dropped out of school. Like in, so I was housebound. I was bedbound basically. I was stuck in my room, stuck in my bed. I didn't want to leave my room. The only thing that kept like like all I was doing was like popping pills. But I have stopped that now. I have kind of stopped that. Well, I have stopped that in whole. Yeah, I have stopped that now. But yeah, well, basically I became very lonely. I just became lonely. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. I lost all motivation to go out, really, and like, yeah, just really very lonely. I didn't want to go out. Like when my family offered like let's go out and do a family activity, I would say no. I would I would kind of be angry a bit. I would have mood swings and like I would just say I was really struggling like, and then it comes to April like this is when family members and other friends started noticing like what I was posting online, like my Instagram stories started getting um yeah, people could see like people started seeing like yeah, he's not in a good place. People were like, yeah. And then people started like seeing my posts, and then people like I was getting a bunch of messages, which was just overwhelming me. And then yeah, and then it comes to about April 12th, and then well, I did go out on that day. I was meant to I was meant to be going out, but then it got cut short because I was I kind well, I was meant to be going to a racing track. You know, one of them go-kart tracks, like you know, like them like team sport places. It was one of them places somewhere, I forget. But yeah, I kind of took I kind of downed a bunch of medication in their bathroom while my mum was while my parents were checking in. Like yeah, and I kind of went off to the bathroom, downed downed a bunch of them, and then I went upstairs to the cafe area and waited for a bit because there was an introduction video. But I started getting weird. I started going a bit sleepy, and then I think my parents started noticing that I didn't look alright. But stupidly, I left the evidence in my bag of like the empty boxes, and like yeah, I got caught with empty pill boxes on me. Well, I went into the introduction video thing to watch it. Like I was still gonna like, but yeah, I completely left my bag on the table, which my parents then searched. But I wasn't intending on leaving my bag. I was about to bring it in with me to the introduction video, but then my parents said, "Why don't you leave your bag on the table?" Which I thought nothing out of it, but I forgot. But I forgot I had the boxes in there, and like yeah, really, yeah, stuff like that, and then it was yeah, and then it was like they said like you can't be taking any medication if you're like going on track for the introduction video, and that's when my parents walked in and then took me outside of the room where the video was going on. And then they were like, where are they? Where's med school? I'm like, I don't know. And then my parents was like, that's why you went sleepy, didn't you? Like, dodgy. So yeah, they said we're getting the ambulance and police on the phone. I'm like, so basically what I do, I run down to the change room here because I'm in like this jumpsuit yet. So I run down the change room here, get out this jumpsuit here. I say I'm going back to the car, yeah. But yeah, I legged it away from the place, yeah. Ran to this park, yeah. But then I realised, yeah, a staff member from the place is following me, tracking my ass down. They followed me in a car. I thought I had proper ran far to get away from them. It's like they went like straight after me, but then, well, basically the staff member kind of made me came back. Next thing, yeah, bunch of police showed up. I mean a bunch. I swear it was like 12 officers, one ambulance shows up. And it's like, yeah, I'm getting taken into a hospital. So yeah, I got taken into the hospital that day, and I had to stay there overnight, all alone. So that really dragged me down because it was loneliness. And then the next day I got out. I was out for like 2 days, and then the next day I was out of that hospital for 2 days, yeah. And then April 15th or the 16th, I'm out with my parents. We're out doing stuff, and like, yeah, I'm just chilling in the car. Like, I came around a few shops with them. I popped a bunch of meds in the car, and like, I kind of was posting stuff on my story that day, and like a few friends saw, and then they snitched on me, saying look what he's hidden inside of the door, and then I'm basic, and then but yeah. I didn't let on straight away, but then I started going. But then I went back round the shops, which I started getting tired again and a bit sleepy. Which then my parents started noticing. Like he's done something again. My parent, I thought, it's like he's done something again, hasn't he? It's like and then I was just like. And I say, oh, I'm just tired, nothing's wrong, I haven't done anything silly again, like, I'm just tired, so, like, I asked to go and get food and, like, a drink from, like, a shop, and then I kind of went back. I kind of did a bit of criminal damage that day. I sat on my parents' car and dented their bonnet, and then, I go off, and then that's when they find my stories online, and it's like, and then I get quizzed, and then I kind of like took it out on my parents' car, kind of scratched the back of their car with a knife, but I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't in that decadish mood, and like, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't. I would never do that nowadays. Like, look, I would never do that nowadays to my parents' car. Like, I was just in a bad place at the time, really, and like, I did scratch it with a knife, but yeah, and then I snapped off the wiper blades, and then I kind of ran off to a train station. And then, I ran off to the train station, and then, I ran off to the train station, and then well, I was intending to jump on the tracks and end it, and like, yeah, just put myself out my misery really, and like, but then, yeah, it was like, yeah, and then I get picked up from the train station by a friend, and then I get taken back to my parent, and then I kind of run off again back to the train station. This time my parent comes for me. I was hiding in the toilet for a bit, but then my phone died, which I was like, I need to charge my phone. So then I went to the seating area where you charge your phone in that room next to the plugs while you wait on the train, but I never realised the police had been called at this point. So yeah, the police were searching for me. They found me in the train station, which then I was refusing to give them my real name either, so I gave them my brother's name, right? I was like, and then they called my parent and they were like, blah blah blah. They gave them the description of what I was wearing, and then they clarified it was me, and then so basically like yeah, they walked me back to my parents' car, and then yeah, they wanted to do a search. They found a few leftover meds in a Kinder Egg container, and then they found a few of my small screwdrivers, and yeah, this is very hard. They found a few of my small screwdrivers and stuff, and yeah, and then they were like, well, we need to call an ambulance, blah blah blah. Ambulance was taking ages, so like, and then I eventually get picked up by an ambulance after hours. And yeah, and then I got chucked in hospital again, and then mum, yeah, so, and then, yeah, but then after that hospital time, it was I got jumped on by security there, which I just made it a more horrible experience. It was a shithole at that second hospital I got into, but yeah, that's basic. And then I kind of went to stay with my other parent for a bit in Scotland. This was like, my parents are split up, so like, I kind of went there to get rid of well, they thought it would go away, but it didn't really. Like, I was still suffering even up there. Like, I did try and attempt to jump off a bridge up there. I tried to jump off a train bridge, but then my parent ended up just like helping me, like coax me off the bridge. Because this was at another train station, but this was like, yeah, so I got coaxed down off the bridge, and then, yeah, but I would say the only thing really like keeping me alive is like, I would say the only thing that like making me cope is like me find like I'm very big into all the music and like music. I would say music was the biggest help. I would say if I never had the music, or like, especially Linkin Park, like Chester Bennington's music, that really helped. If I never had the Linkin Park music, I would have been. I don't know where I would be. I reckon I would be dead now. I reckon honestly, I would have probably taken my own life. That's what I reckon. But yeah, I would say music probably saved my life. Listening to music, and I would say music's the biggest thing that saved me really. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here because I can't go on. It's playing with my emotions a bit now. It's like, this is like, yeah. But yeah, remember to like and subscribe. And if you're suffering, please feel free to comment on the video if you are suffering. But like, we can chat if you want or something. Maybe try and talk to someone and like just put some headphones on and listen to some music. That's the advice I can give really. But yeah, peace out.